Your title of your book is The Chiron Effect. It's healing our core wounds through astrology, empathy, and self forgiveness. What is the meaning behind the title?
Oh, that's a great question, Yvette. The title evokes that we heal our deepest core wounds. For some of you listening and watching, it might be wounds like I had around abuse and trauma and abandonment. And for others of you that grew up in a healthier home and environment and believed better about yourself and for yourself, these would be, instead of core wounds, they're areas of vulnerability where you might just feel not good enough. You might experience sometimes feeling neglected, but it doesn't go quite as deep, but it still is something you harbor privately against yourself. Your self-esteem might be low, though you're outwardly successful. Vulnerabilities people don't know, but nonetheless, they affect you. They affect the orbit that you have, the people, places, and things that you habituate, because we're all our own little solar system. We're all planets that orbit other people, planets, and that orbit us. And that frequency, that orbit is dictated upon what you believe is true about yourself. And Chiron in your astrological birth chart identifies this area of wounding or vulnerability that keeps you believing as you do. And in some areas of your life, this might be great that you really excel in an area of your life. But in the areas where you think less of yourself, it inhibits you to really have the kind of experiences you want, the relationships you want, the money that you want to make and continue to receive. And so the Chiron effect speaks to these thought frequencies that affect our patterns, our orbit in our own lives. And the healing is found through empathy and self forgiveness. Astrology is like that diagnostic departure point. Astrology is like that diagnostic point. You find out what sign Chiron is in based on your time of birth, place of birth, and date of birth. And if you don't have the time of birth, it's okay. It's not required to generate if Chiron is in Aries or Gemini or Scorpio or Taurus. There's a chart in my book as well as an interactive website. And then you're able to see what limiting belief has been operating in the backdrop of your mind. For some of you, it might very well be conscious that you're aware that this wounding of neglect really has affected me. And for others of you, it might not be as apparent. And it's through really forgiving yourself for whatever judgments you've held against yourself and finding your healing through leaning into that vulnerability or wound to see what information it contains for you.
Wow, that's so impressive.